Hi everyone, I'm Sue. Welcome to Blue Heron Hill. Today it's time to start talking more about planting seeds. I hope you've ordered your seeds. It's never too late. All of these seed companies really have it all figured out. And some may be out of stock, but they will restock. Or if they don't have it, you can always go someplace else. Just wanted to talk a little bit about seeds, first of all, and the ordering of seeds. Now, I've gotten a couple dozen seed catalogs in the mail. I have a couple of my favorite ones here. This one's on top. This is Seeds and Such. They have an extensive groupings of different vegetables and flowers too. Lettuces, corn, carrots, beans, tomatoes, peppers. Great all around good source of, if you don't find something in this, you're going to have to look at for a specialty seed catalog. But this is a favorite one of mine. It is relatively inexpensive. You can, if you order 20 packets, I think you can get them for $3.25 a packet. And I think that's a pretty good deal. Another one is M.I. Gardener. I don't have a catalog. I think they're only online. I don't think I haven't ever gotten a catalog, but it's very easy, migardener.com. I like him for a couple different reasons. Number one, he's in Michigan, which is in the northern latitudes of the United States, which is where I am. So a lot of his seeds that he carries do well in that climate, and that's what I'm looking for. Also, his seeds are relatively inexpensive. They think they're about $9.99 a packet, somewhere in that range, and totally affordable. I do find sometimes that he does sell out on some of the more popular varieties and such. He's one I like. Another one whose catalog I don't have is Hudson Valley and Hudson Valley Seeds, only because I grew up in the Hudson Valley, or spent 20 years in the Hudson Valley, and that's where I gardened a lot. And so their seeds are specifically curated for the northeastern United States. So good source. Another one of this may be my favorite catalog, is Johnny's. The catalog itself is a treasure trove of information. Not only are the pictures just superb, but the write-up is really good with lots of information. And they also have very nice informational squares here on some pages. This one particularly is on parsnips. Parsnips are pretty difficult to grow. The germination part is really, really tough. Johnny's Seeds, for the catalog alone, it is wonderful. They do have a lot of wonderful varieties in here, and new ones to try, and tried and true ones. And I think that they are a wealth of information in the catalog itself. Now, of course, everybody talks about Baker Creek. I get the catalog. This is the big catalog. This isn't the free catalog. This is the big one that you pay for. I find this another wealth of information, and this is almost a coffee table book. I just love it for the history in here. The photographs are art quality, just spectacular. They have recipes in here, and their plants are fabulous. They're all heirloom varieties, open pollinated, and so you can save seeds from any of these plants that you get from this catalog. So that one, very good. So those are just a few. There are many, many more seed catalogs available and seed companies, and everybody has their own likes for sure. Different areas of the country have, you could rely on those that are closer to you. So those are seed catalogs, which are so important. Now, when you do finally get your seeds in, and I think I'm waiting for one more set of seeds. I think it's from M.I. Gardener too. And, but I want to take you in, just show you, here's a seed catalog, and this is from Johnny Seeds. And I got these are pole beans right here. And that's a Monte Gusto, and that is a yellow pole bean. I love these. These are the first time I grew them was last year. And they are off to the races right away. Great germination and so prolific. And usually your yellows are in as a bush bean. This is the first yellow pole bean that I found. And since I do a lot of vertical gardening and I have my trellis out in my garden where I grow my pole beans, I find that having those doesn't use up so much of my precious garden space. So what we do have, other important information on this seed catalog would be this right here. Okay, see that? That is the test date, and these had a 90% germination rate from all of the seeds that they made into these packets. So I think that's a pretty good germination rate, and I don't have to, on new seeds like this, I don't have to do any testing. Any of my old seeds, I have already done some germination tests on those to see if they were viable. And if they dipped below 50%, then I would get a new packet. As with the Monte Gusto, I needed more because I didn't save any of the seeds, and this year I will be saving them. Now, the back of the package is very important too. So this isn't such a good indication, but it says, sow after the danger of the last frost. Those are beans. You need to have your soil for beans warmed up. They don't like cold feet. They would rather a warm temperature. So keep that in mind when you do your schedule of your garden planning. What else do I have here? Here's one. And this is celery. And they've already done their germination test on this. And it shows it was in December of just last year, and they had a 98% germination rate. All right, here's the back of my celery. It says sow seeds early March, 10 to 12 weeks before transplanting outdoors. And it talks about the seeds needing light to germinate. Very good information for you when you're starting them indoors. And then they need to be transplanted out in late May or early June. So that's some great information on the back of this seed packet. So seed packets are not only good for holding the seeds, but they are a wealth of information. And I like Johnny's in particular. They have a great deal of information on their seed packets. Here's one. This is, these are cucumbers, and these were by Seeds and Such. And on the back, it tells me if starting out inside, sow the seeds a ½ inch deep, 3 to 4 weeks before your last frost. And then transplant outdoors a week after all dangers of frost. So I can take this information, and now I'm going to transition into what I talked about a little bit last week. And this is my garden planner. So I'm going to take you in a little bit closer to show you how I fill this out. Okay, here is my garden planner. And this was just a simple chart that I made up. And this is, let's see, that says 2021. And I have another one over here, 22, and I don't know where 23 is. It's floating around someplace. But anyway, each year, let's take, for instance, this one here. And it showed, I show when my last frost date is. And so this one, I gave it a nice wide 2-week period. And you can see when I started the different things. Here, I waited till March 1st to start my peppers. And this year, peppers are going to be started about the same time. This is March 3rd. Yeah. So, the numbers I have, these are the dates, month and day of the year. And then these numbers here correspond to the weeks before the last frost date. And this is my last frost date, somewhere between early May and late April. So this gives me an indication. If a seed packet says 4 weeks before your last frost, then I know it's somewhere at the very end of March. Just gives me a basic indication of what the time frame would be. Things I have on this side are things that I'm going to be doing inside. So these are all going to be seed started, most all of these right here. This side of the gardening chart are the things that I'm going to be doing outside. Of course, there's nothing going on until the beginning of April. Now I have more things to put in here about preparing beds and everything. For instance, I'm going to prep for my onion bed here at the beginning of April. And my leeks may go in here. Always write in pencil because things change for sure. I think last year I had my leeks going in a bit later because my leeks did not germinate in time. Here I have, see, leeks are going to get started on the 11th, the week of the 11th of February. So we have planting onions and radishes outside, brassicas. So brassicas, pop back over here. They're 9 weeks before the last frost. I'm going to start them indoors. That includes cabbage, broccoli, Chinese cabbage, and cauliflower. And then they'll get planted out in mid-April. They can tolerate a light frost. I may have to cover them initially in these first few weeks, but that's what I write down here. And so you can see, and this is all according to my last frost date. And then, of course, I go on into May, where I'm putting my tomatoes out, my peppers out, and you can see basil's getting planted out. And then again, I'm doing more brassicas end of June, beginning of July, and these will be started indoors and then transplanted outdoors. So I have things going on all summer long. And this is kind of a very fluid chart. Nothing is etched in stone, so to speak. And this is very adaptable, has to be adaptable. Another thing I wanted to show you, and I think I did point this out last week's video. This is a chart on, well, they call it your planting strategy. And I really like this. And this is through garden.org. And they're graphs on the calendars of when they gives you a hint on when you should be starting your seeds. So they have a column sowing seeds indoors, transplanting them into the garden, or you direct sow them. And they talk about beans. So this gives you a little indication if you're new at this and you want to get started right away, but you don't know when the best time is to plant beans or beets. Beans or beets can be direct sown out into the garden. And this is all according to my zone. And you can see I've made, in the columns here, I've made adjustments to when I have found that it actually works the best. See here, even with beets, I've got an August 15th. That is for the fall plantings. And they do have fall crops here too. They have a chart for fall crops. So they have beets here July 29th through September 12th that you can plant. And beets are direct sown, so you just plop those seeds right in the soil. Most root vegetables don't like their roots to be played around with, so transplanting them is an extremely risky approach to take. And most of the root vegetables just do fine planting them by seed. But see the spring, there's nearly every vegetable, or certainly the vegetable families, are in here. There we go. I've got lots right here. What I did this year was I printed off a new set of charts here because mine was getting a little bit messy, and I will probably readjust these dates to what I have written on my other one. But this is a real good resource to help you as a gardener to figure out what to do and when to do it. Along with, of course, if you take my lead here and make up a chart like this. I hope that helps you out in doing a little garden prepping. I have yet to start any seeds downstairs. And according to my garden planner right here, I'll be starting celery pretty soon. So I might just get a jump on it and might start it next week. So I may have to change this. But go ahead and try out this source right here. That will supply you with a wealth of information. Don't forget to look at your seed catalogs and the backs of your seed packets. And if the information isn't written on this seed packet, you write it on the seed packet. If you know that your beans have to be in warm soil, write that on the back of your packet. If you don't have a test date on your packet, write the year that you get these seeds, or the seeds that you're going to be using in the garden for this year. Write 24 on it so you know that they are brand new seeds, and next year their viability, and I showed you the viability charts that I had, and I think I linked those in the description box, and I'll put them down again just to be sure. Thanks for following along on this video. If you're new, I'm glad you came. I'm glad you stuck around. I hope you got some good information. Maybe even planning a garden out on paper will help you out. Any questions, comments down below. If you haven't already, please subscribe, click that notification bell, and you'll find out when I post my next video on my garden planning series for 2024. So until the next time that we can go digging in the dirt, happy gardening. Bye.